It will take only 5 minutes for you to do it, and when you come back after lunch, maybe around 2 o'clock, 2 to 2:30, or maybe up to 2 to 2:45, we will be simply discussing what you have done in the template, so that it will be highly helpful for you to go about this fundamental numeracy. Then after that, you will be once again joining there with sir, that is Mr. Eugene sir, so that you can have activities of numeracy there, literacy there. Both of them will be there. I think with this small introduction, once again I repeat, those who join late, we will be having a presentation now explaining you what is numeracy, what are the skills required in numeracy, and what are the steps we have to follow in identifying the activities and then finding the assessments and all. Then after that, I am going to give you a template, very simple template, where you are going to write only few lines only. It will take maximum 5 to 10 minutes for you to design that. After lunch, please take 10 to 15 minutes time and then do it. Around 2 o'clock, when we meet back in the same link where we are now meeting all of us, in the same link we will meet once again. There we will discuss maximum 5 of them, so that it will be very easy for others to go about it. Therefore, this is the plan now. After all our presentations are over around 2:30 or 2:45, we will go back to the main link, that is the common link which you had it in the morning. There Mr. Eugene will continue and he will tell you how to design activities in literacy. Can I start now? Is there any questions? Any question? Can we start? Please mute your mic, please. There are no more questions. I am starting my presentation. In the morning, Sir has already given you the introduction to literacy. I think somebody is joining. That's a big trouble. I don't. Okay. Now, as already Sir told that about one Thirukural. Actually, this we can take it as the basic one for foundational numeracy and literacy. Remember, so many years back, Thirukural number 392, Thiruvalluvar has already told about it. The twain that lore of numbers and of letters give a rise, the wise declare to all on earth that live. I think no need to explain you. And in Avayar Kondrai Vendan, there is one word comes at Ennum Eluthum Kannanathagum. The meaning is Kanidamum Aranulgalum ஒருவரின் இரு கண்களை போன்ற பெருமையை உடையது. எண்களையும் மொழியையும் நமது இரு கண்களுக்கு ஒப்பானதாக கருத வேண்டும். எண்ணும் எழுத்தும் கண்ணெனத்தகும். With this, even we know that even long back, the great scholars, they have found that how literacy and numeracy are important. And let us see why actually we want the children to write and read. The ability to read and write and perform basic operations with numbers is a necessary foundation and an indispensable prerequisite for all future schooling and lifelong learning. And foundational literacy and numeracy refers to building adequate literacy and numeracy skill during the foundational stage of school education. These are the first 5 years of education. I think already Sir has discussed it in the morning. Then he already started with when a child will be able to write, when a child will be able to read, and so on. What is the need of this literacy and numeracy foundational? Primary education is the first stage of formal education, where an individual acquires the necessary ability to read and write and perform basic operation with the numbers. Remember, actually we have already seen one thing, that for every building, we need a better foundation. We cannot tell for a child foundation is weak but the building is strong. Our primary education is the first stage of formal education, and it is the basis for the future school life as well as adult life. Hence, FLN, that is foundational literacy and numeracy, is essential and indispensable prerequisite nurturing competent individuals and building strong nation. I think Sir has already told you what do you mean by foundational literacy. It identify letters and identify initial or final words. The child has to read familiar words, listen with comprehension. The child should orally read with fluency and comprehension. In numeracy, the child has to identify numbers, discriminate between numbers, find missing numbers, solve addition, subtraction and word problems. Let us check out, is there anybody is writing? Once again, I will check out. Anybody is writing over there? Yes, I will admit. Well, I think we can continue now. Okay, now this is actually, I told you that what do you mean by foundational literacy and what do you mean by foundational numeracy. At this session, we are going to concentrate on foundational numeracy more. And this NEP 2020, Foundational Literacy and Numeracy, Attainment of Foundational Literacy and Numeracy by Grade 3 in Mission Mode. For that, what are the things they were planning? Book promotion, national mission, foundational skills, early learning, 3-month play-based school, national repository and libraries. And you are seeing that how it has been being planned so that this FLN can be achieved. And once again I want to just put it in the other format, that is by standard 3, a child should be able to. You can read in the same words in the literacy skill and you can read it on the numeracy skill also. Already we have discussed it, but remember, by the standard 3 a child should be able to. Therefore, in this FLN we are having a kind of setup where we will plan for entry stage, we will plan for exit stage. For example, entry stage for 1 and entry stage for 2. The entry stage for 2 will be the exit, both exit stage for 1 and entry stage for 2 are one and the same. Like that, in the same way, exit stage for 2 and entry stage for 3 are one and the same. Similarly, we are trying our level best so that by standard 3 a child should be able to have both literacy skill and numeracy skills. Then this also Sir has already discussed. Foundational numeracy skill are divided into 4 tasks. You can note down, because all our activities planning should be based on this only. NCERT textbook only we are following. Number reading, a child should have a skill. Number discrimination, all of you know that what is the meaning of number discrimination, which is bigger, which is smaller. Whenever they know it, then they will be able to do operations on that. For example, they have the idea about the 2-digit number, 3-digit number, they can do operations on that. Then the next one is addition. The next one is pattern recognition. It is very, very important. Shape and size and shape will come under that. Okay, now we will go for in the National Education Policy 2020. What are the basic thing, major thing being told in foundational numeracy? Number 1, they want to have mathematical thinking development and development of number sense and understanding numberness and application of basic operations for problem solving. Please note down this, because based on this only you will be planning your teaching, you will be planning your assessment, you will be planning your rubrics, you will be planning to check what are the learning outcomes are there. Development of mathematical thinking, development of number sense, application of basic operation for problem solving and understanding of numberness. I will take some examples to tell you that how this development of mathematical thinking can be done, development of number sense can be done, application of basic operation for problem solving can be done, and understanding of numberness can be done. And all of you know that whenever we are talking about this numeracy, we know that it is very easy for us to connect because mathematics is everywhere. The child is exposed to mathematics all the time but fails to perceive it. How? You just see a child is doing some actions, and our focus, the child should connect to mathematics around and learn joyful thought through art and games, and they have to think mathematically and apply mathematics in daily life and do mental calculation. And whenever they are doing this, whatever the action they are doing, waking up, eating, shopping, playing, helping in household chores, and mathematics everywhere. And remember, whenever you are planning any activity, we are coming back to that at the end of this session, there you have to check out that the child is exposed to mathematics all the time, and you have to check that they connect the mathematics around. Okay, now why we are actually want to connect this mathematics, because the nature of mathematics is such nice, because it is logical, it is clear and systematic, it has its own language, concept, symbol, formulae and principles, and universally same. Suppose if whatever you are having, you are teaching there, it is universally same. The reasoning proposition is applicable everywhere, and the conversion of abstract concept into concrete form is already there. Therefore, based on the nature of mathematics, we are having a free hand to plan our activities to connect mathematics to everyday life. The highest priority of NEP 2020, let us note down. The foundational numeracy is making sense of numbers and ability to do basic operation like addition, subtraction of the same. One of the main objective of the NEP 2020 is to achieve universal foundational numeracy by grade 3 by 2025. And what are the things they want to do? They want to have number sense, they want to have counting strategies, they want to have procedural knowledge, they want to have number facts, they want to have language of mathematics. Now we will move on to the pedagogical processes. Suppose already we know that what is foundational numeracy, we have seen that what is the skill which we have to develop. For that we have to have a pedagogical process. What is it? Link the activity to the daily life of the child. Whenever I am discussing, I am going to give you one or two examples where the activities are linked with the daily life of the child. Give sufficient opportunities inside and outside classroom. Some activities you do it in the classroom, some activities give them so that they can do it outside, or take them outside and then do it. Provide concrete objects and manipulates like toys and puppets and learning aids. That is why in one of the slides we have told that arts integrated teaching should be there. We have to provide concrete objects and manipulate like toys and puppets and learning aids. And pedagogical process to develop number skill, I am giving you a link in diksha.gov.on. When you go there, there are lot of resources are there. Please see them so that you will get a clear idea about the pedagogical process to develop number skills. And what are the process it involve? Active participation, engaging the child in relevant activity, taking account of observation of the child, problem posing by the teacher or the child, or problem solving by the child or the teacher, visualizing and representation, making connection and reasoning, and using mathematical communication. Okay, now when I take one example, the next 2 or 3 slides I am going to take some example. You are going to give your outputs for that. Let us check out these pedagogical process are being done by you. Please don't get little bit confused with the word pedagogical process and all. Please arrange the activity in an order so that child will actively participate. See that engage the child in an activity. Then you take account of the observations of the child. Then you check out what are the problem posed by the child and you solve it. And check out the visualization and representation is being done in the activity. and check out it is being whatever the output is being connected and mathematical communication is being done. Whenever you design any activity, if you take all this into consideration, the process will be over. I will go for numbers. I think all of you know that in a learning outcome, count and recognize the number from 1 to 99 or 1 to 100 and write the number name is there for class 1. Understand the concept of just before, just after and in between. Compute the number at proper place. Compare the number more or less. Understand the concept of 0. Do backward and forward counting. Do problem related to ascending and descending order. These are the things we have to check out. Now, don't get confused. We will take a example now. We will check out how all these are incorporated in the activity. Now, how to develop number sense? Pre-number concept should be there. Number sense should be there. Numeracy and mathematical understanding should be there. The child has to visualize something and child should have a spectral understanding. You should use some mathematical vocabulary and application of basic operations on numbers and problem solving are to be done. Okay, now let me check out. This I have already given you. Number 7 is being visualized there. Now tell me what from one of you, just take one of them and please tell me what type of representation is there. Please unmute and then talk please. Anybody can give you a representation? You are able to hear me? Number 7 is expressed in many ways. Can you identify the method by which it is expressed? Hello? You are able to hear me? Yes, madam, please. Madam, can you please take one of them and then explain what is the representation you are making for that 7? Hello? Please tell your name, madam, please. Please tell your name. Hello?
Hello? My name is Divya from Trinity.
Yes, madam. Madam, you take any of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are there. You mention one of them and tell that what type of representation it is.
We have used several methods. One is by using dice.
Oh, okay. You are taking the example of the dice. Okay. What type of representation it is?
It is a counting by using the dots.
Good, madam. Thank you. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. They can identify the 7 by the counting the dots. Fantastic, madam. Anybody else? Because you remember, you are going to make use of this in your activity. Because the child has to recognize 7 in many ways, not in a single way. Anybody else?
Good afternoon, sir.
Which one you are taking, madam? Which one you are taking, madam? Which is representation?
Sir, below the dice, 7 is represented in letters.
Yes, madam. Fantastic. You see, there are 2 representation in 3 representation in letters. One is 6 comes after this.
Before this number and before the number.
8 comes after this number and it is written that SEVN 7. You see, when a child reads, now you understand a number after this, a number before this also. Fantastic, madam. And you are seeing, okay, I think we can continue with that. Here you are seeing so many representations are there about that 7. There is a tally mark is also there. That is highly interesting. In the tally mark also, the child will add the bars 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 plus 2 is equal to 7. Well, now let us go to the next example. I am taking 9. Skill of number sense and to see relationship using picture, symbol, words and object like people, blocks, sticks and leaf, flower, etc. Now you are going to express this 9 in many ways. 9 comes after 8. This tell mathematical thinking. I already told you, there are 4 skills. or we have to express it so that all the 4 skills are coming out. Then this already we have one of you told that by counting the child can tell that it is number 9, but it tell ability in counting. A child will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then this one is highly interesting. Now all of you can tell me, sir, there are also some peoples are there. Here some flowers are there. Now this is understanding numberness. Then how the numbers are being divided. 1, 2, 3, 4 that. Here they will understand the numberness. And here they will understand the basic operation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. And here they will understand the symbol. Therefore, the child should understand a number 9 in many ways. That is, he has to apply mathematical thinking. He has to learn it by ability in counting. He has to learn it by understanding numberness. He has to understand it through basic operations. He has to understand or identify that number through a symbol. Then, how to do it? Now we are coming to the practical part of it. Give example that the child associates with. Already I told you that you have to always try for something associated with the daily life. Ram had 2 chapatis for breakfast. Ravi had 4 chapatis for breakfast. Chapati can be converted into anything else. Had eaten more chapatis than Ram. Now here the child will be able to compare the numbers. Which is bigger, which is smaller. And Ravi had twice the number of chapatis. And Manu saw 5 parrots on the way to school today. 2 parrots were red in color and 3 were blue in color. Now here a child will be having the ability of grouping also. 5 is grouped as 3 and 2. 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. Now I will show you one video. This video you can always show it to the child, for which the child can understand about the numbers. There are so many videos are there. Either you show it directly in the YouTube, or you better download it in your computer and give a link and then show. Why I am telling, suppose if you show directly from the YouTube, sometime what happens when you open the YouTube will start with the advertisement only. Sometimes that advertisement may take more time, and some advertisement will tell that it will start after the advertisement only. Sometimes you have to skip the advertisement and so on. Therefore, to avoid all these things, what you can do is download that video in your computer, and in that computer keep it in one folder, and from that folder you give the link to it. This is actually from a Chuchu TV I have taken.
Hi kids, come on, let us learn the numbers song. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let us learn the numbers. Let us learn the numbers. 1, 2, 3 till 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Learning numbers makes it fun. You can read from 1 to 10. 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Show the numbers on your hand. Write the numbers on the sand. 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Write the numbers on the wall. Pick the numbers from the bowl. 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Don't you wanna sing along? Learning numbers makes you strong. Say it. 1 and 2.
Okay, let me continue with that. Now you see in that up to number 9 that it is being explained through a song and all. Therefore, it will be highly nice, a child will understand better. Okay, now we will move on to next video. This next video is also of the same type, but you can download it from the net. As I told you earlier, kindly download it and then give a link so that
Spot
your time will not
counts
get
from
wasted.
1 to 10. 1. Spot counts one cow chewing. 2. 2 horses trotting. 3. 3 ducks swimming. 4. 4 piglets squealing.
Here you are seeing that they are seeing the sequence also, they are able to understand that symbol also, they are able to understand the spelling for that word, O-N-E, T-W-O, T-H-R-E and so on. Okay, well. Now let us see what is the process you have to follow for the activity. For the numbers, counting 1 to 9, competency is formation of numbers. Divide the class into 4 to 5 groups. This is only one example. There is no need that you have to follow it continuously. Assign each group a task. Explore the garden and note small red rose plants. The child will be identifying it. And draw as many type of water bottles in the class. They will draw it. And list the things made of wood in the class. They will identify. Then sketch the thing that you have in your pencil box. They will do it. Now after this, ask them to count and write. That's all. I think 4 to 5 group I have given the task for 4 groups. Explore the garden and note small red rose plants. Draw as many types of water bottles in the class. List the things made of wood in the classroom. Sketch the thing that you are in the pencil box. Now after that, what you have to do? Students are engaged in the activity. You have to facilitate them. You write the number symbol on the board. Student match the number with the picture made in the notebook. For example, if you write 4, a person who is having 4 parts of rose he has found, he will come and tell that, madam, I am matching now. Suppose you write 5, a person who is having 5 pencils in his pencil box, he will come and tell that, madam, I am matching now. Then students write the numbers and number names in the notebook and ask them to find the list of things made of wood in the class. Then it will be very simple. Now they will count table, chair, and how many chairs are there, how many tables are there, and so on. Well, now this is one activity so that the number sense can be done. Now more activities are numbers. Ask them to count the numbers aloud. For example, ask them to count 1, 2, 3 aloud. Then stand in your row from smallest number to the biggest number. After they identify the number, ask them to stand in your row. Suppose a child has told that I have identified 4. A child has identified 3, a child has identified 7. Ask them to stand in your row from smallest number to the biggest number. Then point to the number. Ask them to come and point to the number. I have seen 4 rose parts. Ask them to come and point the number on the board. Draw the picture of the object for the given number and arrange the jumbled numbers. Good. Numbers are being jumbled, ask them to arrange them in descending or ascending order. Ask question which number is bigger. Now you see, one activity is very simple. They are simply noting down the numbers and we are going on adding activities to it so that the child will learn better. Well, activity integrated with art, EVS and languages. I think sir will be throwing more light on this. The activity which you are planning, it should be integrated with art, it should be integrated with EVS, it should be integrated with languages. Then fine motor development will be there if you do it. Then hand-eye coordination will be there when you integrate it with arts and EVS. Concentration will be more for a child. Language will get developed. Counting out loud and pronunciation of numbers. Max, recognition of numbers and the names. The value of the number, how many, more than, less than. These ideas will come in their mind, and sorting by color and number will give them more idea about the art. And the material are very, very simple. Whatever the material available, you can make use of it. Children do mathematics without actually knowing it is mathematics in the class. Suppose if you are playing any game, you see, I will just show you something. Children arrange themselves in circle in equal number, position at the corner of the rectangle while playing game. This is one game. Can you identify what they can know from the game? Anybody please unmute and tell what they can identify by doing this game. Please unmute and tell, please. Hello? Can I get some response?
Equal opportunities.
Okay, fine, madam. Anybody else? They are positioned at the corners of the rectangle. Is it okay? About this, what they will learn from this?
Circles.
Good, fine. Okay. What they learn from this? Tug of war?
Balancing.
Fine. Very important word
Equal
is there.
balance.
Yes, madam?
Equal balancing.
Fantastic. Sir. Equal. Normally what we will do now, we will have equal number of persons in both. Not only tug of war will be a original tug of war. Okay. Well, this will be knowing corners and center. Madam already told. This they will understand shapes while playing, and this will understand divide into equal numbers. In the class there are 10 people. We will ask them 5 people go to the left, 5 people go to the right. They will have the equal number idea they will get. Fantastic, madam. Therefore, they do mathematics without actually knowing it is mathematics. Therefore, whenever you are doing these type of games also, now you can inculcate it. Well, number operation, I am going for addition and subtraction. Already we have, first one we have seen how to inculcate number sense. Now we are moving on to addition and subtraction. Addition and subtraction of single and 2-digit number is there. Solve problems and draw required number of objects to find the sum value. Now what they can do, they can just add the pencil in the first row, pencil in the second row. Using symbol and mathematical language, they can tell that total number of pencils is there, its number name is this. And pictorial representation also they can have. This is a pictorial representation. Suppose one flower is there, then plus 3 more flowers gives them 4. Therefore, addition and subtraction can be done by using symbol, mathematical language or pictorial representation. You decide while you are doing your activity so that the child will learn better. Let us go on to measurement. They understand the concept of length and measure object using his finger, hand span and foot span. Estimate distance between 2 places. You can ask them to do this. You can ask them to do this. You can ask them to do this. These are all your own innovations where you can make them to understand the concept of length and measurement using finger, hand span and foot span. Well, what are the pedagogical processes we are engaging when they have activities of model making? Children learn measurement and estimation. We will always ask them to make models. Other skills are developed. Gross and fine motor skill. Confidence will be there. Communication they will learn. Cooperation and team building they will have. And these are some of the things they will be doing when they do activities of model making and construction, where you make them to learn measurement and estimation. Well, let us go on just to one video. I will just show you about the measurement, how you can make a child to learn measurement in the class. In the classroom only, connecting it always with the whatever available in the classroom.
NCERT syllabus for Class 1 Maths Chapter 7 Measurement. Longer, shorter. The pencil on the left is shorter. The pencil on the right is longer. The letter on the left is shorter. The letter on the right is longer. Tick the longer. The leaf on the right side is longer.
Okay, we will move on to the next video, where once again one more idea about the length measurement is being done. I am just showing only glimpses of that video.
Let's understand what length is and how to measure it. The word length is used to measure how long an object is. For example, length of the classroom floor, length of the blackboard, length of a pencil, etc. It is also used to measure distances. For example, distance from your home to school.
Well, now in that process of explaining them, you can very well see that the length and everything measurement is being explained through daily life situations only. Well, and we have to be very careful with this word, how the concept of mathematical ideas can be put inside a child. From day to day experience, make lemon juice, measurement of skill, a glass of water, 2 spoons of sugar, a pinch of salt and 1 lemon. The child will understand the concept. Sharing an apple among 3 siblings, they may come up with a different way to cut it. Now I am just showing you. Now they will cut like this also, they will cut like this also, and they can use this one to cut it. And the child is making lemon juice, where he will have measurement skill. He will take a glass of water, 2 spoons of sugar, that also 2 spoons, a pinch of salt and 1 lemon. Everything he knows. Well, now let us now go on to the next topic. That is, we have already seen number sense, addition, then we have seen about measurement. We go to time. Now this time also very interesting. Understand and get familiar with morning, noon, afternoon, evening and night terms along with yesterday, today and tomorrow. Activities of the day in sequence and distinct time of event using previous knowledge, vocabulary and real life experience should be inculcated in that. Differentiate shorter and longer duration and understand and know the days of week and months of a year. Okay. Well, now we will just have some examples now. Now a child has to observe from daily routine. Bird creeping in the morning at 5 a.m. and mother starts to cook at 6 a.m. Going to school at 8 a.m. and father goes to work at 7 a.m. What is the advantage? I think in the previous slide already I showed you that the child will be knowing the differentiate shorter and longer duration, how the days of the week and month and activity sequence, in the way how it is being in the sequentially it is done. 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 8 a.m. and 7 a.m. Well, now let us go on to the next topic, pattern. Now we have seen number sense, we have seen operation on numbers, we have seen measurements. Now we have seen time, we are going to pattern. Now we can ask them, this is coming under the size and shape. Identify the pattern right from school to home. Recognize the pattern in picture, shape, number, alphabet, color and growing and decreasing pattern. Understand the basic rule of creating a pattern and then extend to sequence. Create pattern of their own. Let us now have some examples. These are all the shapes which you can discuss with the child. Now let us go to the data handling. The next one, collect and record information of own way. Give their views on the recorded information. Solve word problems. Now you can ask them to make like this. See, 3 flowers are there, tally mark to be put and number of flowers to be written. And 2 flowers are the 3 roses and 2 more flowers. Tally mark to be done and the number of flowers are to be done. Now we have to go for one more topic called critical thinking. Some of you may think that, sir, critical thinking may come only in the secondary stage. You can have it at foundational stage also. How to do it? I will give you an example. Give problems that have multiple answers. How are 6 and 2 similar, you ask? Child will be going on, giving you so many given examples for that. Some of them may be wrong also. How are 6 and 2 similar? Can anybody tell me one answer, please? Unmute and tell how 6 and 2 are similar. Can I get at least 1 or 2 answers? Yes, please. Echo is there, please. How are 6 and 2 similar? Can anybody try? Yes, madam? Yes? No, I am not able to hear you properly, madam, please.
Even number.
Not clear, madam, please. Once again, can you try?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, madam.
2 and 6 are even number,
Ah, fantastic. Then,
and 6 has 3 letters SIX, and
Okay.
2 also has 3 letters
oh, fantastic,
TWO.
madam, fantastic. You see, now this actually leads to critical thinking. And now I will give you, I think, madam, thank you, madam, fantastic. Both
Thank you,
are
sir,
even
thank you.
numbers. And addition of similar number, you see, 6 is 3 plus 3 and 2 is 1 plus 1.
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. And both are less than 10. Okay, this is actually, you see, these are the critical thinking. A child will be, whenever you ask this question, the child will be trying to compare this number with other numbers also. Compare and contrast maybe. And example 2, without using number 3, get number 5. You should not use 3, but you should get 5. You can, so many, something will come. Suppose they can use subtraction also. 1 plus 4, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2, like that they will get. But you tell them that 3 should not be used. Good, fine. Now I think these are the subtraction. 7 minus 2, 9 minus 4 and so on. You see, like this, what you can do is, suppose in any number pattern, you can ask some questions like this so that critical thinking in mathematics at foundational stage will come out. Well, encouraging children to pose problem themselves. Suppose I think already told you, Sarah has also discussed, there are 3 types of assessment. One is off, another is for, and another is as. For is formative, off is summative, and as is self-learning, the self-assessment by a child. Child has to know that where he stands. Now let us see one example. Identify thing placed in a pattern in your class. Response from the child. Chair, benches, window, grill and door carving. Now a child will ask a question. He is having 2 bags now. What question a child will ask? He will ask, I can find a pattern in my bag, but his bag doesn't have a pattern. The child will think about it. Now, after thinking about the pattern in the bags, the child will ask the next question, do all plants have leaves with the same pattern or different? Now remember, you encourage the children to pose problem like this and you give answers for this. And whenever any child is coming and asking you this type of question and you have answered it, if you feel that it is fantastic, please share it with other children. Well, use of learning resources, very interesting. It will be mathematical competencies will be developed, mathematical vocabulary will be developed, visualization will get developed, horizontal and vertical connection will develop. Learning resources, whenever you are using it, it will show clarity, it will be a better motivator, attention and interest will be there, maximum senses will be used, it introduces variety, it develops scientific approach and it shows creativity. Therefore, kindly use learning resources whenever you are teaching something. Well, these are some low cost aids, teaching aids you can use. Bottle cap, dice, disposable glass, disposable plate, beads and straws. I think I don't want to give any suggestion to you because all of you are well versed in that. But make use of them extensively, or the child also to make use of them extensively. What is your role on laying strong foundation at the elementary level? We already seen that how to develop the skills in the numeracy. We have taken some examples. We have taken example how to ask questions in number sense, how to ask questions in time, how to ask questions in measurement, how to ask questions in size and shape, so on and so on. What is your role? To focus on pedagogical process which are best suited to the children at the elementary level. You take example of art, puppet, toy, music integrated learning and practical education games. Now these are the things which you can try. You mentors and nurture students, set tone of their classroom, build warm environment and become a role model. This is the role you have to play in laying strong foundation at the elementary level. What are the curricular expectations from you as a teacher? Formative assessment, speaking with coherent thought, reading with comprehension, writing with understanding, use pedagogy, use resources, adoption of curriculum to be developed by NCERT or CBSE. These are the curricular expectations from you so that FLN can be implemented. Now, I am going to give you 1 or 2 tips how you have to do that curricular expectation. There is one approach called ELPS. Anybody knows about it, ELPS? You heard about it? Anybody heard about this ELPS? Fine, no issue. Now let us now go to the ELPS. What EAL stands for? E stands for experience of the child with objective, performing and activity. L stands for language. Children express the experience in spoken language. Already told you that NEP is giving more emphasis on regional language. P stands for picture. Draw picture that depicts the experience. And S written for symbols. Written symbol that generate the experience. Our ELPS, experience of the child, language, pictures and symbol. ELPS, experience, language, pictures and symbols. This approach is highly useful to make learning successful. Well, now approach in accordance with NEP, what are they? Teacher should integrate art as a pedagogical tool. The focus must be on mutually reinforcing art as a subject and art. Collaborating teaching should be there. Art integrated learning will support the teacher assessment. This art integrated teaching, I think separate workshop is required for this, so that you will get more ideas about this art integrated. Those who are having interest, please go to the net, art integrated learning. There is a lot of resources available. Even our Diksha also is giving some input on that, art integrated learning. Well, now let us now go for this workshop is based on foundational literacy and numeracy. But anyway, we have been asked to come out and then study numeracy separately for want of time. Why we have to focus on integration of literacy and numeracy with numeracy? I will very quickly give you the reason for that. The reason is very simple. Use of language in understanding mathematical ideas is a must. Language for disposition of mathematical thinking is a must. Precise communication and mathematical terminology as a part of daily language is a must. Therefore, we have to integrate literacy and numeracy. Both cannot be separated. And suppose I am giving one more example. Understand the difference between the lines. 2 plus 3 is equal to what? All of you know. The answer is 5. How it can be asked? 2 more than 3 gives what? 2 and 3 together gives what? What should I add to 3 to get 5? 2 apples and 3 bananas, how many fruit do I have? You see, can you understand how the literacy is playing a vital role in getting the answer from the child? 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. Simple, that is symbol 2 plus 3 is equal to 5 directly. But the first one is giving the condition of more than, less than. Second one is giving the condition of togetherness, that is you are adding. The third one is also giving you the operation one. The second one is application part. The 2 apples and 3 bananas, grouping apples separately, grouping bananas separately, and then adding them and then putting them in the group of fruits. How many fruits? Well, nice. 5 fish swim, 4 more join them. How many fish swims in all? It is 4 o'clock. What is the time? It will be after half an hour or an hour later. These are the, see, the wordings are very, very important for a child to understand. That is why literacy is very, very important. Now all of you know that we had a very famous this one. Whenever you are showing any picture, now you can ask mathematical question using the words of literacy. How many people are there in the garden? Question number 1. Top. Behind, how many of them? In the front, how many of them? Back, how many of them? In the slide, how many of them? In the roll, how many of them? You see, child has to understand, then only he can answer. Then all of you are very familiar with this buckle shoe song. That shoes actually, that song is having a higher interesting thing about a child, so that it gives them that the operations of the numbers and also to identify the numbers. I think this is a very interesting one.
1, 2, buckle my shoe. 3, 4, shut the door. 5, 6, pick up the sticks. 7, 8, lay them straight. 9, 10, a big fat hen. Will you do it for me? 1, 2, buckle my shoe. 3, 4, shut the door. 5, 6, pick up the sticks. 7, 8, lay them straight. 9, 10, a big fat hen. 2 little hands to clap.
Okay, now I think all of you know that this is only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 turn. It is not so. It is actually showing a lot of things inside. The child has to count, he has to arrange, he has to, which is bigger, which is smaller, which is fatter. There is a lot of involved in that particular song. Very interesting one. Well, we will now go for another one now. Can anybody tell me how literacy and numeracy questions can be asked from this? From this particular dance? Nice dance. What question you want to ask to your child? Please unmute and tell, please. You are able to hear me? Any question you want to ask based on this particular animation? You are able to unmute?
Hello, sir.
I think, madam, please check out. I think you are trying to answer every time, but you are not able to answer because of the echo.
Sir, I think now I'm audible.
Yes, madam, you are audible, madam, please.
For numeracy, we can ask how many students are there, how many children are there.
Where?
For literacy, we can ask which type of dance or which type of music.
Okay, fine, madam. Thank you.
Okay.
How many children do you see? I think madam has already told. And middle boy wears which color shirt? This also, I think so many questions are there. I'm not telling that the questions are restricted. So many questions can be asked. You see, this is the integrated approach of literacy and numeracy. Well, traffic signal signs are also a kind of literacy. All of you know. We are talking about that red and we are talking about that green and maroon and all. Anyway. Now, pedagogy to development literacy and numeracy, the teacher has to do this. Teacher has to play a vital role to create such a learning environment in the class that should cater the need of individual child. Teacher should create child interest by providing equal opportunities to them. It is very, very important. We need to adopt such pedagogy which is not only enjoyable but should achieve our goal of attaining universal foundational literacy and numeracy. Various methodology and activities which can be followed to develop basic language skill and mathematical skill along with other life skills are there. Well, now I will show you some examples very quickly. What you have to do is please go through them and this will be shared with you also. Let us now show one example on addition. Again I repeat, I am showing you some activities. This will be shared with you. They are in word format only. It's not a big issue. So that it can be shared through your WhatsApp group also. Now the thing is that for addition, there is many activities are there. But I am showing you a template where you have to plan it in such a way that it will be helpful for the child without any problem. Okay, well, I think it is opening. Okay, now remember, you have to first, what you have to do is, you have to fix the activity for which you are planning. In that, you have to note down the learning outcomes. Then you have to go for the action plan. Then you have to end up with the assessment also. Now I will show you something happened. Well, I will go back to that. 1 minute. Let me check out whether it is working once again. I am having some addition examples also with you to share it with you. This addition, and we are having one activity on subtraction. We are having one activity. Okay. Now this is a pedagogy in numeracy addition. Competency is knowledge of concept. Progression of activities being shown. Integration with art and music. And suggestive video is also there. I think this is a little bit elaborately done. Not in a single day, it is being done by a group or something. How many beads do you have in my one hand? How many beads do you have in other hand? So by taking all the beads in one hand, she will ask how many beads I have now. Yes, very good. Today we will study the concept how to add object. Like that, this is a way to how to start the class. Okay, this is one way of doing it. Please check out competency in numeracy is knowledge of concept, progression of activity, integration and suggested video. Like that, when you plan and keep it ready, it will be easy for you just to do it in the class. That is the main aim of it. Okay, now we can have it one more thing like that in the subtraction also. Whenever you are talking about addition and subtraction, all of you know that the same activity can be little bit modified so that you can have it for the subtraction also. It is not a big issue for you. Now you can have the same type of template, and you will just have it once you have done it. Suppose if you are able to do it, competency has been fixed and the progress has been fixed, then you can do for anything. Okay, competency is same type of thing. Competency is understanding basic concept. Now you are asking how many chocolate do I have in my hand? I have 3 chocolates, dear child. Tell me how many are left. Very, very good. Today we will study the concept and your toys you are making use of it, and these are the videos for that. If you keep it ready and you can use it in the class. Knowledge and understanding, give a drill on taking away 0 from any one digit number by asking like this. And finger means finger folding and play hide game. Hide 5 marble and see how many left out. And art picture reading like this. Okay, anyway, I think I am closing it. On time, you can have a lot of activities on time. Now only one thing is that you are going to do this when I am just after your lunch also. You will simply tell, I am giving you the template. You are going to select any topic and you are going to make only a name of the activity and then how to do it. It is more than enough for you. There is no need to that elaborate one. It will take time. As I told earlier, they might have done it in a workshop or somewhere they might have done it. This is on time. Teacher will introduce the lesson by singing a rhyme, wake up poem. This is a wake up poem is there. All the students will be given a chance. Now the teacher will show activity duration. Eat dinner, what is the time, watch television, what is the time you have to do, sleep, what you have to do, brush your teeth, you have to do. Now I think this poem, wake up early in the morning, it is there in the YouTube, the link is there already. Now you can first play it and then you can start asking questions on it. That's good. Now shapes and size, I will just skip it. What are the plane of action you have to do? Step 1, break down the learning outcome into workable units. As I told you earlier, learning outcome will be shared with you. You have to break down it into workable units. List the exit level target for each unit that was broken. Already I told you entry level and exit level is very important. Plan level wise activity, plan assessment strategy, design weekly target group. Learning gaps should be identified. Implement activity which are experiential. Test the achievement of learning outcome. Assessment in alignment with the learning outcome. We will tell the step number 4 now. We are going to the step number 4. You can use rubrics for telling the assessment of a child. What do you mean by a rubric? Rubric is to evaluate a child so that you can explore, you can visualize, you can assimilate, you can you can have a logic way of assessment, you can understand a child, you can analyze a child, you can translate whatever you want to tell it to a child, and you can express it also. Now, some student will be after any problem is being done, they are having a lot of questions in their mind. All these questions will be answered if you are using a rubric. The rubric is using a learning assessment cycle. First, fix the learning goal, give a learning opportunity, assess it, share the result, implement the changes based on the result. Once again, have a learning goal. Anyway, this is the assessment loop. I am just skipping it. Whenever you are talking about a performance, it is the intersection of student, environment, tool and task. We are talking about the tool now. Whenever you are having a scoring instrument, there are 2 types of there. One is checklist, another is rating scale. Rubric is a rating scale. I am going to give you a rubrics, don't worry. It is being shared with you. Through your WhatsApp, we will share it. A rubric is a scoring tool that lists the criteria or what counts for a piece of work. A rubric is an evaluation tool that describes quality of work, range from excellent to poor. Specific characteristic of performance are detailed. A rubric measures student work against real life criteria. Now all of you can tell me, sir, why I have to use a rubric? If you use a rubric, then only you will know whether the learning outcomes are achieved up to what level. Suppose we can tell that a child is able to do this, but is not able to do that. Normally we will be telling, na, whenever we are talking about a child is able to do counting, we will tell them a child is able to do counting only two one-digit number. If you give him two-digit number, he will not be able to do the addition. Like that, the rubric will tell you the what counts for a piece of work where a child stands. Well, very quickly I will go for this rubric. It is a guide and it is a scoring rubric, is an attempt to communicate the expectations. Well, now it actually a rubric will focus on potential achievement and its level of achievement also it will tell. Well, and we will skip it. Now let us go for only one type of rubric I will show you. Analytic rubrics. I will share it with you. Have the rubrics with you and you can check out where the student stand. What is a analytical rubric? It tells you the performance for each criteria. It is student work based on specific criteria. It is highly useful in learning outcomes. Is more common because teacher typically want to assess every criteria separately. That's why I told you, na, whenever a child is able to subtract, you are not able to subtract whenever in the unit digit, suppose 3 is there and 7 is there, the child will not be able to subtract. When scoring analytical rubric, each of the criteria is scored individually. Let us move on. This is a template. It will be shared with you, don't worry. Advantage of the rubrics are you can have evaluation to be more objective. It will focus on clarity, provide useful feedback and provide benchmark. And for students, I think normally remember a class 1 to 3 child cannot read more rubrics, but it will promote them awareness, help student to judge and clearly show student how their work will be evaluated. Well, anyway, let us now show you one rubrics. You have to identify a learning goal. This is a rubric now. I will show you, all of you are able to do now. L1 stands for learning outcome 1, L2 stands for learning outcome 2, L3, L4. Suppose if you are talking about read and write numbers up to 99, L1 is he reads, writes and compare numbers up to 99 with the support, that you are able to support him. L2 is read, writes and compare numbers up to 99 without your support. L3, he applies and estimate numbers up to 99 with the support and apply and estimate number up to 99 without support and help others. Highly interesting. What you have to do is for every child you should keep this with you. You have to check out for read and write numbers up to 99, for using addition, observe and describe physical property, estimation, verify length and create and recite short poem. For this, where the child stands, whether he is in L1, whether he is in L2, whether he is in L3 or he is in L4. Now all of you know that this will be in ascending order. A child who is in L4, everything you are checking out, he creates short poem, estimate and verify length and help others, observe and describe physical properties and independently he does, uses addition and subtraction in daily life situation independently with accuracy. Our L4 is the best one. But be careful with L1 and L2. We have to help those children so that the activities are to be designed once again, or you have to give them a separate activity. You have to take care on them so that fundamental numeracy will be achieved. Let us now go on to the learning outcomes. I am just to show you the document of learning outcomes. I think anybody have seen this document, learning outcome at elementary stage by NCERT? Have you seen this document earlier? Have you seen this document? Learning outcome at elementary stage? No answer? You are there? Okay, now I am showing you the learning outcome of class 1 mathematics. Suggested pedagogical process is given there. Learning outcomes are very clearly mentioned on the right side. And please go through them. Process is very clearly given so that you can make use of it while you are preparing your activities. And this is for class 2 mathematics. Once again, suggested processes and learning outcomes are very clearly explained. And similarly, class 3 and class 4. This is for class 3 mathematics, and this is for class 4 mathematics, and this is for class 5 mathematics. So moving, this is for class 5. Okay, anyway, this whole PDF is having 128 pages. I will share it with you. Please go through them. And this is the learning outcome fixed by NCERT for elementary stage. Well, now based on these learning outcomes only, we are going to proceed further. The learning outcomes are already, we have seen it now at the elementary stage. Okay. Before we go further, I will show you some I will show you some sample rubrics, and I will show you activities. These rubrics already I have shown you. Now the sample rubrics I will show you now. Remember, these rubrics once again will be shared with you. You can make use of it and you can fix out. It is not a thing which it is the final. This is only a sample rubrics. You please go through this and you can find out that L1, L2, L3, L4 where you can check where the child stands. The child, whether he is able to perform up to what level. Actually, rubrics will tell you that up to what level a child will be able to perform. Okay, now this sample rubrics can be designed for class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4. For any class you can make, or for addition you can make a separate rubric, and for measurement you can make a separate rubrics, and so on. Okay, now this activities already I told you. These some activities I will share it with you. You can make use of it in your classroom because it is being done by our teachers also. For other teachers, there is no issue in that if you are using it. But the sample activities which you are being shared, the activities which are being shared, please go through them. And if you want to make any changes in that, please make them, so that for every one activity you can make use of it. Now some of you may tell me that, sir, these activities I am not able to do it because of lack of time. What you can do is, suppose in your school, if you are having 5 teachers for example, you can divide the activities topics among yourself, so that you can share it with. For example, one person is doing in measurement, or one person can be doing in size, shape and this one, like that. Okay, now this is a rubric for class 1. Learning outcome is reads and write. I think this one already we have seen it. The class 2 we will see. Reads and write up to number 99 is a learning outcome. L1 is read and write and compares. Read and write and compare without support. Applies and estimate with support. Applies and estimates without support, and is helping others. Now you can go through it and you see these are all performs multiplication, estimate. For everything we have given. I think you can have it separately also. This rubric is given for all the 4 topics, that is number 1 operations, then multiplication fact and estimation, then shapes, size and shapes. For everything it has been done. For time also you see, time also it is having done. Identify a particular date and corresponding day in a calendar. It is being given for all the classes. Well, now there are certain sample activities that also we will try to share it with you. These activities are highly interesting. Then you can make use of those activities in the classroom situation also. Okay. Now these rubrics already I have discussed with you. It's coming on second. Okay. Now remember, you can tell me, sir, is it necessary for your rubric to have? But if you have it a rubric with you, then you can check out various child stands. Suppose it's without support or with support, and you can analyze. That is a basic use of rubrics. There is no need that you should use the rubric. Okay. Now I am coming to the last part of my this one. Please all of you take a piece of paper and note down. This is the activity template which I am giving you. This is your work I am giving. I want maximum participation. In the activity template, what you have to do is, first you select the class, whether you want to plan an activity for class 1 or class 2 or class 3. I repeat once again, you select the class, either it is first or second or third. Then you select the topic. For example, topic already we have discussed. It is the number one, number sense, or operation on numbers, or shape and size and patterns, shape and size. Select the topic and you fix the name of the activity. For example, I think one activity already showed you where the name was there. And list the learning outcome. Learning outcome you decide. Now you see, I am going to share the learning outcome with you. Suppose if you are not able to read it properly, now you can also tell that, sir, I want this outcome should come. Normally it will coincide with the learning outcome by NCERT, no issue. Give the description of the activity. I am not asking you to elaborate on that, how you are going to do it. For example, if you are making an activity on size and shape, you tell me that which class you have selected and you select the topic. Topic means identification of the shape or identification of similar shape, identification of the nature of the shape, like that. The activity you fix. For example, if you are making the child to go and collect all the shapes of windows or the shapes of doors or the shape of something, you fix the name of the activity. And what are the learning outcomes you want to fix. For example, if you are fixing that, this is the learning outcome. The child is able to identify the shape of it. The child is able to compare the shape of two things. The child is able to identify the size of a particular item, like that. Then you give the description of activity, how you are going to do. Now for example, I am dividing the class into 4 groups. I am asking them to do it. I am asking to ask them to note down. I am asking them to give that, like that. Okay. Then you have to explain the assessment, how you are going to assess the child. Any doubt in this? I want it to be discussed when you come back after your lunch. Have your lunch. We will meet at 2 o'clock or 2:15, whichever is convenient to you. We will have it only for more than 30 minutes. We will discuss 1 or 2. Simply a person can come and he can share the screen or whatever the written topic, or you can simply explain also. You select the class, select the topic, fix the name of the activity, list the learning outcome, give the description of the activity and explain the assessment. Any doubt? Any doubt, please? Any doubt? Well, now I will close this with this famous quotation. Learning is not the product of teaching. Learning is the product of the activity of the learners. Remember, we are going on teaching, but it is not the product of teaching. Simply teaching will not give you learning. It is the activity of the learners. That is why we are always talking about, whenever we are introducing anything, we are talking about do activity, do activity, do activity. Now, Albert Einstein told, mathematics is in its way the poetry of logical ideas. It is a poetry of what? Logical ideas. Mathematics is full of logical ideas. What is your job now? It is the teacher duty to make every child see the poetry of the logical ideas. You help them. Now actually this is a great opportunity for the teachers, those who are working now. Because previously whenever you want to do something, you have to do a lot of things, getting material, getting some resources, it's very, very difficult. Now you are blessed with materials, you are pumped with materials. Please use the materials or whatever the resources you are getting, arrange them in order, share and care with your teachers so that you can make every child see the poetry of logical ideas. And thank you very much. If there is anything you want to ask, I will just closing it. If anything you ask, you can ask now. I am just closing my presentation. Anything anybody want to ask? Any doubt on the template which we have discussed? Yes, Durga Tulasi, please. Madam, please. Yes, madam, please. Please, you can ask the question, madam, please. Durga Tulasi, you are able to hear me? Please unmute and ask your question, please. Durga Tulasi. Okay, well, we will meet at 2 o'clock with your presentation. No more questions?